Oh yeah, welcome to another episode of Dark Skies, News and Information. Man, here to talk to you about the Mandela Effect and about dreams and reality and how our dreams, could be connected to another reality. Is it possible? A whole lot of things are happening. So we're going to talk about the Mandela Effect, we're going to talk about CERN, we're going to talk about dreams, and we're going to talk about the destroyer god. Yeah, Shiva. It's a lot going on, people. Y'all gonna have to open your eyes, and if you don't, it ain't really much I can do. I'm only doing my part. So gather around, make yourselves comfortable. This is Dark Skies, News and Information. Oh yeah. Man, I hope y'all comfortable on this early morning. We up early talking to y'all about the Mandela Effect, trying to open eyes to try to let people know. Man, but I do want to say what's going on to everybody just listening here in California, up to the Bay, down to LA, all the way down to Sacramento. Yes. What's up, Washington, Oregon? They be checking in. What's going on, East Coast? I'm just out there today, y'all. I mean, it's Sunday, and we're talking about the Mandela Effect. How you doing, Virginia, Florida, Georgia, Utah? Yes. Canada, Texas. Well, we're talking about the Mandela Effect, and man, it just don't get no crazier than what things have been, over the past few years, trying to study this subject, trying to find out, what happened to all of us, right? It's not just, me. I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this for everybody, trying to find out what's going on. Well, the Mandela Effect continues to get crazy, as I pushed out the video about Forrest Gump and, pretty much blocked everywhere. I don't know if I'm out there or not. It's crazy because the Mandela Effect, got me feeling like I'm, in an alternate universe. Like I'm in some type of simulation and I'm talking to computers. And that's why I'm not getting no reaction. And I wanted to talk to people because, I got more shows coming up because I got some strange theories on why the Mandela Effect don't get very much attention around the world. Because it's really, really, strange that, that we could possibly be living on a planet, with what they say, 7 billion people, and only like 28 people care about the Mandela Effect. Or 30, 40 people, maybe 100, maybe a few hundred on Twitter. So it's crazy. Is it really, 7 billion people on this planet? Is that what I'm supposed to believe? Well, we're finna look into all of that, so let's get the introductions out the way. I'm your host, LC Grace. We got Mikey Nikes in the building. We got Jim helping out the sound levels. We got Jennifer. We got Becky. We got Charles. We got everybody here today. I mean, it just, whenever we talk about the Mandela Effect, I mean, everybody like to, put in the work. And for good reason. We're trying to understand the ununderstandable, right? Something that just don't make sense, and we're trying to make sense of it. Now, people keep trying to tell me it's billions of people walking this earth, God's green earth. First of all, this is different earth, and it looks different, feels different. I've been trying to tell people for a long time, but it's almost like I'm talking to a computer. It's like I'm talking to, the deaf, and I'm showing pictures to the blind. So I'm not reaching nobody. And it's funny because, the world that I remember, the world that I came from, I remember that it was many, many people on the earth that was very, curious, whether we were talking about, archaeology and ancient civilizations, or we were talking about Planet X and, how ancients seem to believe in, or we was talking about the ancient star map of Africa and how the ground seems to mirror the skies. I talked about all kinds of things that were so interesting, and, I studied it, and it was a part of my life, my existence, the study of ancient Egypt and the Egyptian gods. Trying to study Africa because, that's where my ancestors came from. And I talk to people about it and, educate people to the best of my ability, as I educate myself. But as time went by, we started to, notice changes. And this Mandela effect are the changes that I'm speaking of. And I'm starting to get an understanding now on why, it's not billions of people interested in this subject. Because to me, I think it's very important, but, who am I? And in the end, who am I? I'm just somebody who's affected by it, right? And who's talking to people. But I feel like, it's so important that people need to know, right? And I'm willing to open a discussion. I want people to think about it, So I say President Trump, I'm willing to open a dialect, the Illuminati. Yeah, I speak to the Illuminati, the New World Order, the UN, the UK. Yes, Theresa May. Yes, President Putin. All the leaders of the world. Everybody should be paying attention. Everybody should know that, that there's more going on. I mean, because if this is your world and I'm telling you that there's more worlds, there's more like this world, but not this world, and it just sounds crazy just even saying it, but it should be enough to get people attention. I mean, when I tell you that the world map has changed, when I tell you that climates have changed, I mean, I'm living in California, born and raised in California, and we do not have 4 seasons anymore. The seasons are all over the place, but nobody, understands, what I'm saying. It's like I'm speaking to computers. It's like I'm living in a simulation. Only some of us are real. Is it 7 billion people walking this planet? Am I talking to 7 billion people, or am I only talking to a very small amount of people? What did this have to do with dreams? Do you even dream? Are dreams real? Are we really dreaming? Because I remember having dreams, and when I wake up from my dream, a couple of minutes later, it's gone. I can't remember it, no matter how hard I try so hard. And then I have dreams that, I had years ago that are stuck in my head and that I can recall at any second. And it's strange because, I wonder, do dreams are supposed to stand out like that? If you're supposed to, experience your dreams. If you're supposed to feel the wind blow in your dream. If you're supposed to hear all the sounds and experience all the things that's happening around you. As if you're doing right now. And then I try to talk to the people and try to explain to people there's something strange. And then people tell me about CERN, and I say, it's incredible, all the scientists of the world, came together on a project, and they're working together to try to understand, molecular research and, the study of atoms and small particles and, pretty awesome. But then I tell people that, wow, I don't really remember that though. I mean, I don't remember that. I mean, I don't know. Because, it's hard to explain. I know actual scientists. I'm not a scientist, but I know scientists. I study so many different areas in the world and try to, to understand my life better, to understand my place in the universe, the origin of mankind, all kinds of stuff, reasons, for me to, understand the world better. So, I studied Atlantis and the Bermuda Triangle. I studied, ancient Africa, and I studied, Alexander the Great. I studied Italy, I know Rome. I know this incredible change that we're experiencing. Only few of us are experiencing it. And that frustrates me because you're telling me that it's thousands of people that are affected, but only hundreds know that they're affected. But then what about the billions that are supposed to be walking this planet? What about the billions? How come, they don't know anything? And no matter how much I speak, yell, climb to the top of the mountain and say, Mandela Effect. They'd be like, oh yeah, Mandela Effect. And then just keep walking. Because it seems like it's a simulation because I'm talking to people and they don't hear me. Is it important? Why wouldn't it be? Because is it possible that, we're living in a new dimension, right? And I tell people, oh, is it possible? Because if it is, it's incredible. But then, I don't think about the repercussions, right? Because if we're here, what happened to there? And then, I start having strange dreams, right? Strange dreams of, a great battle. When I say a great battle, I mean a battle like any other. I mean, growing up, in my world, I remember studying history was a part of requirements, growing up in school, and I didn't mind. I liked learning about the history, whether it was U.S. history, I want to know why I'm here, what happened. World history, want to know what happened, during the world. Used to read the Bible, ancient history, right? Want to know about what happened in the world, in the ancient past. Then dinosaurs and stuff. Then I was like, wow, that's incredible too. Start trying to learn about that. But then, it started not making sense because all of it didn't add up. And, that's like, like these dreams that I was having, battles being fought, right above our heads. It's crazy. Like jets flying right above our houses, dreams, right? And, I'm looking up and seeing these things in my dreams, right? But it's crazy because I can still remember them. I can still remember like jets flying like right above our houses. And the ones that flew high fell high. Like didn't have no more power or something, just fell straight down. I don't know if it was real. It just seems like a, dream. So say it's a dream. But for some reason, still remember it. Still have memories of like nobody left and a few people here and there. And that's why I wonder why we don't have that many listeners, why we don't have that many followers, why we don't have that many people checking in on us. Because it seems like, it wasn't that many people left, in my dreams. And now I wake up in my reality here and I say, this is different than, normal reality, yet it's full of people again. But they don't listen or hear when I say, hey, you don't remember that the map was different, that South America was right under us and now it's not. And I don't know. When you talk to people, it's like you're talking to a computer or you're talking to a simulation that, they're unable to, grasp, quantum thinking or unable to understand, multiple realities or multiple universes. Just speaking of that, takes people somewhere that, they have no, I guess, place being. Because dreams and reality, seem to be, kind of connected, especially when you start talking about the Mandela effect and multiple realities and what could connect them, because like I said, I done had strange dreams and, I had dreams of large objects flying across the sky. And I don't mean like UFOs. I mean like, I don't know, like I want to say meteors, but much too big to be meteors, 1, 2, 3 flying across the sky, burning their way through the heavens, smoke billowing from behind them. I don't know if they actually hit the earth. I mean, it was a dream. But I seen them flying across the sky. I mean, looking up and I was like, dang, this is crazy. Then you wake up and, none of that actually happened, right? I remember being evacuated, a mass evacuation, where they came in and pretty much like soldiers or National Guardsmen or, military people escorted people out of the city. It was a dream though, I guess. Remember the sky opening and things coming down on us? Hey, it was a dream though, I guess. For some reason, I remember these things. I don't know. I have memories of, strange events, crazy things, like huge tsunamis, you know, engulfing the Golden Gate Bridge, you know. Had to be a dream because, I couldn't have been there, right? I'm here. So it's crazy, So trying to explain, to people that, it's just dreaming, you go to sleep and you have a dream. And I said, God, I remember one time, I went to sleep and, I remember, trying to get through the 110 and it had holes all up and down it. Like something rained down onto the 110 and the 110 was impassable. I remember trying to make it back to Compton. It was dark. I remember trying to avoid stuff. These are dreams though. I mean, I don't know. For some reason, I just had crazy dreams. I used to tell people, oh man, I used to have some crazy dreams. And I used to be able to tell them word for word all the way, from beginning to end. Even now I can remember, multiple dreams and I can tell you from beginning to end, from my, started the dream all the way to the end of it. Remember the empty mall. Remember the empty cities and homes with some people here and there. Spread it out. I don't know. It's just so crazy to have, dreams that you can actually remember. Like they played like a movie in front of you, like you experienced it, like you was there. You could feel the stuff, you could see the stuff. And, I remember like, trying to, make sense of it, trying to write it down. And I was writing it down like years later. I'm like, dang, I can remember this. I can remember the faces of people, as they said, basically staying put, like they didn't want to move around. Something was happening. I don't know. But then, everything's okay though. You wake up and everything's okay. None of it happened, right? Oh, good. None of it happened. But then, you go about your day and, thinking about your crazy dream and you start to think about, man, how come I could actually remember this? It's like, how come I feel like I was there? How come it was just so real? It just seems like it was more than a dream, And some dreams, I tell people, some dreams stand out, right? You can remember some and some you don't. And I don't know, everybody seems to have the same, understanding, dreams are hard to remember, So for some reason, certain dreams are those dreams of what seems to be a different place. That was, like this place, but it was pretty hard there. Things was pretty much going bad. So is it possible that that place is no more? And then I listen to people that talk about CERN and, they embrace the destroyer god Shiva. And I tell people that, you have to be careful, because man don't understand, things. Even if my dreams was some type of alternate reality, well, then those men didn't understand what they were up against. And whatever it was, destroyed everything. And I mean, on a mass scale, everything. And, of course it was a dream because look, everything's here, is here. But then at the same time, I'm telling you that everything here is slightly different than there. And memories of there is crazy. It's almost like life is restarted here. And everybody here has no memory of what happened there or even of there, or that there existed. And then you say, man, the movies were different there. They said different things, or the titles are different, or, the logos is different, or, The map, the actual Earth was different. The climates was different, and you point all these things out, and nobody see it, and then you say, "Who am I talking to? Who is here?" It's crazy because you're trying to make sense of it. It's wild. I do news and information, about a whole new world. Because I'm living in a place that's you know similar enough. You know, I'm even told that I was here already. That I've always been here. Wow. So I'm trying to make sense of it, right? I'm talking to people. I say, it's crazy, because I remember being somewhere else. I remember, a new world or an old world, and this being a new world. I mean, this is like the only thing that most people know. They can't even comprehend the fact or even the possibility that there's more than this. And I often tell people, look beyond yourself. If you're really you and you're really here and you're living a world, an existence, a life, then you should want to know that there's more. Even the possibility that there's more should just be, enough to spark your human intuition. You're wanting to experience more. You're wanting to know about it. New realms. Or are you just crazy? Is this person just crazy? Because L.C. Grace could be crazy, But am I? How many crazy people understand so many different elements of life? How many crazy people, can talk to you about, time and space and dimensions, reality? How many people, can, explain to you about, Shiva and why it's dangerous to embrace it? The destruction of universes. Is it even possible? Can your brain comprehend even this universe? And then I try to tell you that there are more. It's too big. But then why am I here? Why am I here if I'm left to try to explain the unexplainable to the deaf? If I'm here to show pictures to the blind? Am I here to waste my time? Or does time even exist? If I'm bouncing back and forth, is these realities, really, conducive to time and space? I mean, is consciousness affected by time and space? I don't know. All I'm trying to do is understand. But then, it's a small group of people that's, willing to understand and want to understand more, just like me. People that have dreams of an old reality and yet they live in a new reality. And I freely speak, New World Order, I freely speak Illuminati. Because I want somebody to listen, because somebody need to know that, it's more than what y'all experiencing. While y'all fighting for power on just one planet, while y'all scrabbling for scraps, while y'all backstabbing each other, lying to each other, holding each other back, true consciousness can raise higher frequencies, different levels, different universes. And without the help of computers and big, large hadron colliders. How much money are y'all spending there in Geneva, Switzerland, in France? In hopes to get a glimpse of what we've already seen, what we've already experienced. Y'all trying to figure out what we already know. But then yet we tell you, listen, this exists. We've experienced it. And y'all blind and deaf. But then you embrace something that you truly don't understand. You can bring about your own destruction, because what you seek, you will find. There is no following the destroyer, because only destruction is left. But I can only show what I see, and I can only see what I show. And it's crazy because I talk to people, every day. I want people to understand every day, that it's so much more than, this mundane existence that who's created for you. I perceive, I perceive, and I can see things on so many different levels. And I try to tell people, listen, when you go to sleep at night, your consciousness is elevated. You can see things, right? But what do you see? What kind of dreams have y'all had? Have you ever had a dream of something that's beyond comprehension? Or maybe you can comprehend it. It makes perfect sense. You're seeing it. It's happening. I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist to tell when a battle breaks out above your head and you see planes fall from the sky and you see all kinds of crazy stuff happening above your head. You're like, this is wild. Then you wake up like, oh, okay, it didn't happen. but you still remember it. You can remember having discussions with, family members as it's happening. There's so much crazy stuff that I'm glad didn't happen here. I'm glad it had to be a dream, it had to be, because, I believe people do have a right to exist and people have a right to live and live free, free from being held back. An opportunity to be where we are truly meant to be. And only if you embrace who you are can you be that. Now, humans have a cosmic history, a history that's long forgotten. Our understanding of the stars help us understand who we are. Because we all are made up of stardust, right? The stuff made of stars. But I talk to people all the time because I want to understand, right? I want to understand our place in the universe. I want to understand our place in the Milky Way. You ever heard of the Sagittarius arm? Or have you heard of the Orion spur? So much. But yet, I'm still here. Or am I there? That's what I try to explain to people. It's so confusing. Because as long as this exists and I continue to wake up here, this is a place, this is life, this is, our world, this is our home, right? But has it always been our home? Sometimes I feel like we're the losers of a battle. The humans was faced with something they truly didn't understand, and now we're suffering. And when I say suffering, it's because deep in your heart that there's something not right. Things are not adding up, and nobody listens. It's like the Twilight Zone, right? You ever see that episode when homeboy is on a plane and something was tearing up the plane, like we're all finna die? You try to tell people, nobody will listen, like you're crazy. Try to tell people about dreams, like, hey, you're not supposed to remember your dreams years later. You're not supposed to feel your dreams, right? When you're climbing up on stuff, you're not supposed to actually feel it, right? I don't know. I mean, people dream of events, like things that act, that's happening. I don't know. It's really weird. And you always ask yourself, is it real? Can't be. Because if it's real, oh my God. But then you ask, is this real? And you still, thrown for a loop because you say, wow, things are definitely different. And you continue to point out the changes and point out the changes and point out the changes. A couple of people see it. A couple of people, chime in. A couple of people, leave a comment. A couple of people affected, But then you tell me it's 7 billion people on this planet. And I'm like, for real? It's really 7 billion people on this planet? And the Mandela effect, don't mean nothing. It's not a subject that's covered. Maybe you're not popular, maybe nobody don't want to hear what you got to say, LC Grace. Maybe it's you. But this is not the LC Gray show. This is Dark Skies, news and information. So it's not the LC Gray show, But my team, want me to talk about my dreams and my memory and my experiences, because when it comes to the Mandela effect, all of us are affected, and we all are in agreement that, that Monopoly Man used to have a monocle. We're all in agreement. Life is like a box of chocolates. Right? But then, some people, this has always been reality, and there's no more, there's no less, can never look no farther, can never see nothing else. Even if you got somebody saying, oh, I have experienced, life on multiple levels, and I'm seeing things on multiple levels, it's incredible. And then they just go right past you. You know why? Because it doesn't really seem like it's that many people here. It seems like they tell you it's billions and billions of people. But where are they? I don't know. Where are their opinions? It doesn't make sense. So I continue to talk to the small, minuscule numbers of people who are wondering what's happening. Why my family members are acting different. Why my friends are acting strange. Who is CERN? The smartest scientists in the world. How come they're not trying to cure cancer? AIDS. They want to build a machine. Opening up time and space and black holes and trying to understand, is it multiple universes? And then you get people on the planet saying, oh my God, I think I'm experiencing multiple universes. And nobody's asking questions. You see Shiva doing the dance of destruction. Think that's cool, huh? Until you witness destruction on a level that you don't comprehend. Do everything have to be gone? Before y'all start going and looking back and trying to find my podcast, trying to download what I said in the past, to try to make sense of what's happening in the present, to try to see if you even have a future. Because I don't remember embracing, the destroyer and still was destroyed. Or was it just a dream? Because it could have just been a dream. But then when I wake up, I see things differently. And, fine, I accept it. I have no control over where I wake up, right? I wake up. If I had control over where I wake up, I guess I wouldn't mind waking up here considering what was happening there. But then where is this going? It's just hard to understand. Is it the lion laying with the lamb? Or is it the wolf? And the embracing of the wolf. And where I'm from, that would be ominous. It's almost like sleeping with the enemy. But then I speak. My words will fall on deaf ears. The picture I'm holding up, the blind can't see it. I've been tucked away. And no matter how many podcasts I make, no matter how many news reports I do, no matter how much information I try to bring to the slow world, my words fall on deaf ears. But then they tell me it's 7 billion people. 7 billion people walking the earth today. Over 7 billion. But only like 28, 30 people check in. The Mandela effect. Ooh, let me check that out. Like 30 people. Incredible. But to me, it makes perfect sense. Because in my dreams, it wasn't 7 billion people. It was only like 28 people checking in. Maybe the people that's checking in on me, LC Grace, are the few people that was left. The few people that hear me. Because do y'all remember? My lambs would know my voice. We know each other, right? Spiritually, mentally connected. We seek out each other. Because if not, this world becomes very lonely because you try to tell people things and it just flies right over their head. But I can live that type of life, right? Where I can completely ignore all things. Hello, Illuminati. I can just ignore it all. Bilderberg, right? I speak to everybody, right? Because I want all people, not just, you, me. There's a world out there, and I'm experiencing it right now. Wow, incredible. Fantastic. And I tell people everybody's welcome because, I'm not at the point where, I want to waste my time, right? I don't know how much time I got. Just what I do now is something that y'all can go back and find because y'all not finding it now. I'm not speaking to a live audience. I'm not speaking to nobody who's listening now. Nobody's affected when I tell them that, things are strange, things are crazy, things are not adding up. Look. I can say Forrest Gump. I can say Scarecrow should not have a gun. But who am I talking to? Am I living in a simulation? Is this the Matrix? Is it 7 billion computer programs walking around? And that's why I can't get through. I got to hack into each and every one of them. But I'm not a hacker. I'm a man. Ain't that what Iron Man said? I'm just a man in a can. Trying to reach out. Trying to let people know, man, something's different. Something's not right. What kind of dreams have you had? Do anybody have a memory of having dreams of a battle? Of having to hide? Trying to stay out of sight of something. Do anybody have dreams of things being completely destroyed? And then I look and see who CERN embraced. That's a destroyer. But it don't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. But then I'm not a rocket scientist. But then again, it's like I'm speaking rocket science. Because you telling me that y'all was chilling on the moon with less technology that I got in my phone. Yet you can't go back to the moon with more technology than I got in my phone. You're wasting my time. I am far more intelligent than the lies that are being told to me. So if I'm coming at you with the truth and I'm telling you the truth here and there, I'm telling you what I know and what I've seen and what I remember, and I'm giving you, witness testimony. Then you come back, with the falsehood and the lies that you're telling humanity. Humanity is easily blind. They walk the path. But me, I walk a path that's less traveled. I explain something that, people obviously can never understand. So I speak to like the smartest ones on the planet. If I can't reach the regular people, if I can't reach like the citizens, if the migrants ain't listening, the citizens of America, the citizens of UK, Spain, they not listening. If the people of China can't hear me, if I'm being blocked, if nobody can hear me, then how is it ever going to make a difference? Because I spend so much time and I studied the history of the world and I say so much religious dogma. It blinds the people, holds their spirit and their souls back. So much political dogma. It blinds the soul, holds the spirit back. The believing of lies and falsehood stop people from elevating their consciousness. You can't think on a quantum level because you can't even think on a personal level. You can't think of leading yourself. I'm me. I control the path that I walk. Well, some of y'all can. But then again, what are y'all doing? Because the baby power that you get from, holding down humans, or whatever you get from, money that has no value, consciousness wasted, you embrace destroyers, and then when the destroyer comes, all is destroyed. And then people don't even understand what you're doing. You don't understand what you're doing. So it takes people like me to have to speak to you. So yeah, I speak to the Illuminati. Yeah, I speak to the United States government. I don't care if it's Nancy Pelosi or if it's President Trump. Don't care if it's Bernie. Don't care if it's Theresa May. I be wanting people to stop, look, and listen. If you're truly intelligent, if you're truly a leader and not a follower, if you're truly a person that's capable of thinking beyond yourself, and I know it's people that can. So you can't tell me there's 7 billion people on this planet. There's 7 billion people walking this planet right now. None of y'all dream. None of y'all have no type of expansion in your consciousness. You've been held back so long by religious dogma, falsehoods. And I'm supposed to believe what you believe. I don't want you to believe what I believe. I want you to experience what I'm experiencing. I'd rather humans be elevated, our minds be elevated, our souls, our consciousness. I refuse to be held back. And even if I'm in this mental prison, supposedly speaking to 7 billion people, and then 28 people turn around. For real? 30 people, 100, 600, 700. Who would I save? But then you tell me that this existed before I got here. And I tell you, how could that be? How could this have been going if I wasn't here to see it going? People don't understand perception. Because if a tree fall down in the forest, nobody's around to hear it. Will it make a sound? If there's a dimension in a universe that exists and there's nobody there to perceive it, would that universe exist? Is it multiple me's living in multiple realities? Or is it me living in this reality with memories of another reality? And who can explain that other than me to you? Because that's all I can do. I can say, man, I can remember things different. I remember seeing things differently. I remember things being spelled differently. I remember logos looking differently. Okay, that should mean something, but it don't mean nothing. Why? Because it's supposed to be 7 billion people on this planet. What are they all doing? Where are they? Is it really, really 7 billion people on this planet? Is it really a bunch of people in Germany, Poland, Luxembourg, Brazil? Is it really people in Barbados? Is it really people in Chile? How about Turkey? The Czech Republic? Is it really people all around the world? Huh? Like, who am I talking to? Who am I dreaming about? Is this a dream right now? Am I dreaming about 7 billion people? Or are y'all figments of my imagination? I mean, where did all this come from? And what's up with the corrections? If it was 4 people in a car during the Kennedy assassination, who decided it should be 6? And if I tell you I remember 4 and there's 6 now, how come that don't mean nothing to you? There's 7 billion people on this planet. It don't mean nothing to all y'all that it could be another planet Earth. You know, in a Sagittarius arm. Do you even know where that's at? Do you understand the Milky Way? You know, because I have knowledge and understanding of these things for some reason. Or you just some black kid from Compton. You know, what do you know about space, time, dreams and reality, ancient civilizations and pyramids and stars? What do you know about that? A lot. You'd be surprised. But who knew that life could get so complicated? And then it gets so much more complicated when you try to explain it to people. You try to show it to people. You try to tell people about it. You know, am I wasting your time? Am I wasting my time? You know, sometimes it seems like, you know, where I was is no more. And where I'm at, well, it's real. Of course it's real. Experiencing it today. I'm talking to you today. But conditioned to refuse to accept the truth. You know, conditioned to accept lies. Even if the truth has all the evidence and the lies has none. You know, because it's funny that my life done carried me in so many different directions. Where I done met so many different people. Whether you say SpaceX or you say NASA or you say JPL. You say the United States government. Met people in Europe, from Spain, Australia. You know, all over the country I've been. Whether it's this country or my country, my memory. I don't know how to say it because it's so hard to say. It's so weird to even think that, you know, the United States actually used to look different. That the Gulf of Mexico used to look different. Panama Canal. I don't know how many of y'all been to Panama. I mean, I have. So it's crazy. And I can try to make sense of it all I can. But in the end, you know, it just, I guess, you know, reaches nobody. But, you know, I guess I do this because it's therapeutic. You know, it's therapeutic to talk about my dreams, right? Oh, my dreams. But shit, those dreams are so crazy though, and horrible, and dreams of destruction and great battles and sky battles and, you know, and I don't know. It seemed like I don't know, I wish I could forget them. Because it seemed like so many years have passed since having dreams like that. You know, having dreams of places that I recognize. And and then wake up in a place that I don't. So that's what makes it even stranger, you know. I actually, you know, recognize the places in my dream. And these places, you know, sometimes, you know, I need a map just to get around my own home city. And I mean, my city, the city that I walk the streets, I call buses, I call trains. And now things is different, I guess. It's just, you know, it takes some getting used to, but it's hard to get used to it. But then you talk to it, you know, you talk to it. And I don't know how many of y'all do, but I actually talk to it. I'm like, man, this is just wild. Like, look at the mountains right there up against the city. You know, so it's an amazing, amazing experience. But, you know, I just wish it really was 7 billion people on this planet and that they all was interested in knowing that it's something incredible happening. And I can't say that it's just happening to us, because if it's happening to us, it's happening to everybody, because You know, how could it not be happening to you if people are saying that this is happening? And when I say not happening to you directly, like maybe you've always been here and there is no Mandela effect to you, fine. You know, the Monopoly man never had a monocle to you. I mean, you remember things exactly the way they've always been. That's fine. But then you should say that this phenomenon has affected enough people to make me curious. You know, if a whole bunch of people showed up and say, you know, we all are from a different time. You know, what the hell happened? We all was in the future. Now we back here in the past. You know, then y'all be like, y'all would ignore them. Or what if aliens landed and now they living amongst the humans? You know, y'all gonna ignore them? I mean, what does it take, you know, to wake up 7 billion people, to let 7 billion people know that, hey, there is so much, much, much more. You know, or the people of CERN, you know, the only people that understand that, hey, there's multiple dimensions, there's multiple universes, you know, the timelines and all these different things. You know, but they don't share their science. They don't, you know, come out and say what they're actually doing. And they should. You know, they should publicize it. They should come out and say, you know, there's multiple dimensions that we believe that we can see into them. You know, because people like us are witnesses, experiencing it, what they're trying to study. And in the end, maybe that's what this is, some type of study. And maybe I'm some type of mouse in a cage being studied by somebody, seeing how I react to different realities of different universes, strange events. But, you know, my reaction is to witness and testify. See if others have witnessed anything similar. You know, maybe I'm not the only person having crazy dreams. Maybe I'm not the only person witnessing, you know, the Mandela effect. Maybe I'm not the only person willing to dig deeper and try to find out what's exactly is happening. You know, what is CERN doing? What are y'all studying? And I can actually understand, you know, what they be saying. I understand, you know, molecules, and I understand the smashing of these elements. They're trying to see something that they believe is there, but it's just beyond their reach. And they don't understand that reality can be constructed and destroyed within an instant. I mean, if you see the mass changes that could happen to a planet, you know, and y'all witnessing some of it, you know, with the changing of the climates and, you know, the quick changes, the strong winds and the tornadoes and the snow and the blizzards and the flooding. It's only the beginning. And I look at it and I say, you know, what is the world experiencing now? Because not only, you know, do we have knowledge of, you know, a past reality, you're living in a reality that seems to be breaking down right before our eyes. You know, when you look at the weather and you look at, you know, what it's supposed to be and what it is, even y'all would have to admit that things in y'all past don't match up to what's happening now. I mean, even these events, that's why I tell people, you know, I'm pointing out things that are happening in current reality that's strange. You know, I'm not even talking about what, you know, memories of past reality and why that's strange and what was happening there. Matter of fact, really nobody in the Mandela Effect community talk about the past reality and what was happening there, what was going on, and how I don't really have a memory of a CERN, but y'all have always had CERN. And if I would have had a memory of CERN, of scientists all coming together. I mean, that would have been right up my alley. I would have been, you know, definitely all for it and interested in it. So I would have been studying it, you know, couldn't wait for more information to come out. But, you know, now, you know, I'm just now learning about it. And people tell me, oh, CERN made the internet and this and that. And I'm like, It just doesn't make sense. You know, I remember the reality that the internet came along, like after the military had access to it for a little while. Then it started becoming available to people. And it just seems, I don't know, it has a different past now, I guess. I don't know. It's like learning all over again, and it's crazy. But I'm willing, because I'm, a willing learner. I love learning. I've spent my entire life doing it. So it doesn't make sense for me to stop now. I'll never stop learning, but it's crazy that the things that I'm learning are different than the things that I have learned. There's a history, a new history. And it's crazy because I'm a person who studied history. So it stands out to me when I see the changes. It stands out to me. If history reporting history, right? History is reporting history. It's crazy. So you're telling me Hitler had blue eyes, As a historian, it's new Hitler to have brown eyes. So he has blue eyes now? I don't know. It's just crazy. But this is, from somebody who actually studied Napoleon. I studied the French history. I know the history of England. I know what happened in World War I and World War II. I know the lies that were told to make the world believe what was really happening. I know what was really happening. I even know that there's histories that's not being told and that are left out. The left out pages. Even if this is a new world and a new reality, the problems are still the same. There's left out pieces that are not being told. And why? Because people can't handle it, or they're just not intelligent enough. Maybe so. Maybe these people are just not smart enough, and only the smart people want to know. Maybe it's like, you get mad at people that want to know stuff and not sharing, but when you try to share, who listens? Is that the reason CERN is not sharing their information? They're just bits and pieces here and there, stuff they think you can comprehend, dumbed down so you can understand it. Instead of just speaking on the level that they speak on and just say, if you're confused, elevate your thinking so you can understand what we're actually trying to do. And then, so people can come to a consensus. But I guess they don't want dumb people coming to a decision, or even involved in the decision-making process. And I hate to say dumb people, but they look at it like that. You're just not smart enough. How can I talk to you about a star map? That the Earth has a much more cosmic history. It's a waste of time, right? I don't know, man. But I do know that our dreams go away real fast. And like reality seems to last forever. And memories are going to continue to stay with us, man. And like I said, I'm trying to understand it. And I think I'm getting closer. I really do. But the question is it really 7 billion people on this planet? Because if so, then where are they? How come everybody's not becoming a part of this? How come there's only a few of us? And like I said, I'm willing to speak to everybody because I want everybody to, be a part of this awakening, this conscious expansion. Quantum thinking. Elevate your thoughts, people. You've been listening to Dark Skies News and Information. I'm your host, LC Grays. Thanks for joining us. Be back soon.